If you're a PlayStation 4 user, then you've probably heard about Update 8.0, which hasn't been particularly well received by users, and in this video I'm going to cover all of that and how Sony has responded to the backlash. So let's start with this blog post from October 14th, 2020, whose headline reads, PS4 System Software Update 8.0 launching today. And so scrolling down, you'll find everything new about this update and all of the quality of life enhancements that Sony claims this update makes. But one area where a lot of people feel Sony faltered is in their updates to the party and messages system. So all of that is detailed in the following article by news outlet Push Square. So here's how it's described. What this update has essentially done is introduce so many more steps to forming a party than there needs to be. Before Update 8.0, you could simply start a party by opening up your friends list and popping off invites to your buddies. Now you can only invite users via pre-formed message groups. Now this change is fine if you have a dedicated group of people you play with and that lineup never changes. However, the moment you veer off that path, problems start to arise. Let's say one of your friends has a buddy who wants to join the party for some Call of Duty Warzone matches. You would have to create yet another message group purely to send them an invite, when before you could simply list the party as public and they'd be able to join by themselves. Imagine having to repeat this process over and over again every single time a new player wants to join your squad. Sony has created a hassle where there wasn't one. Worse still is that private parties don't even seem to be a thing anymore. You know that old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it? Well, Sony broke what wasn't already broken by trying to fix something that didn't need fixing. And so the whole party system has just become more complicated than it needs to be. Just the ease of use that was inherent to the party system is suddenly gone with this 8.0 update. And with updates, you want to make progress forward, not backwards, obviously. And this is a sentiment that a number of Reddit users have expressed on the official PS4 subreddit. As highlighted by Push Square here, Reddit user CoolSage said, "It's like it regressed from having ease of access, multiple settings, and being fast to sluggish, unappealing, and more complicated. Plus, my whole system is acting up, so there's definitely some bugs." And then somebody else, Zerlife, added, "Seriously, Sony, what are you thinking? Who tested this and thought it was okay? I play a few online games with a large number of players, but not always with the same people. And now every time I want to be in a party with people, I need to create a new group? That is beyond stupid. There's so many things wrong with the new party system, I'm at a loss for words." So basically, instead of being able to create one party that people jump in and out of, you have to create a new party for every combination or permutation of users that you are thinking of playing with. People have gone into a lot more detail about the problems with Update 8.0 in this Reddit mega thread. So scrolling down, you'll find somebody who essentially reiterates what Push Square said in their article, stating, "Revert this update and reevaluate it, please. The new party chat discourages multiplayer, meaning new players, and even making it difficult to communicate with current friends. Think about any game with a looking for group system. Now you have to create a new group message for your new team and nobody else but them can join. Then the group will be disbanded and never used again after that. Players are also unable to create a party and add additional people that aren't in their pre-made group. A new party would be started if an invite is sent to the player outside the group. Solo players will also no longer be able to create a party chat for themselves. The changes to the mute functionality were also half-baked. Muting a player makes it so you can't hear them, but they can still hear you. I'm hoping most of what I listed are just bugs, but a lot of important components of PSN seem to have been overlooked with 8.0. Lots of players are also reporting PS Plus not recognizing their account, and games are failing to even boot up. So there are some bugs and glitches inherent to 8.0 that I'll talk about in a bit. And then scrolling further down, there is actually a Reddit user who kind of bullet listed some of the glaring issues with this new party system, namely that inviting any player to a party chat now adds them to a message group. It's that integration of party chat and message that's creating a lot of these issues. So this user says, this means that if you have a party chat group with several of your close friends and want to invite another user to the voice chat, say a one-off friend or a random user you meet while playing online multiplayer, they will also be added to the associated message group and can view all past messages. This also means every time someone joins the voice chat, they get added to a swelling message group. Besides the privacy issues, this also leads to huge message groups that you will get a notification for every time someone messages in. So you leave that chat to stop annoying messages. Now you won't be able to see party chats for that group. So you have to create a new message group every time your old one gets too big and annoying. And consequently, every time you invite a new user to your party chat, that message group and your messages are no longer private. And then beyond that, the user highlights how there is no public-private party chat option. Previously, the host could set the party to private and utilize kick permissions to moderate a party chat. Now, however, any one of the members can invite anyone else to that chat. The only person who can remove members is the chat owner, not necessarily the person who started the party voice chat, the person who started the message group. That means that if someone joins who shouldn't and the chat owner isn't there to moderate, not only is the problem causing users semi-permanently in your party voice chat, they're semi-permanently in the message group as well. You and your friends will have to leave the party chat and message group and start a new message group to get away from them. These issues will lead to dozens and dozens of message groups with different permutations of users that get frequently abandoned. This was already an issue with messages, now will become a much, much larger issue that party chats is now inheriting. We have entered notification hell. And then other issues include community party chat feature no longer working. Using PS communities to quickly find party chats groups is over. The play together feature has been removed, used to send party chat members game invites. The Reddit user aptly points out that this was useful for many games that lack robust in-game invites and friends lists. This is now gone. You can no longer join game sessions via party chat, and there's the whole mute issue where if you mute a user, you cannot hear them, but for some reason they can hear you, which is not how a mute function should work. And in response, another Reddit user posted their own bullet list of things that highlight issues with the update. So you get the idea. The new party system is just so backwards across the board, and the fact that they didn't host a beta or had people test this out and got some feedback before finalizing this is kind of baffling. Now, I briefly brought up the bugs and glitches that are inherent to Update 8.0, and this is also something that Push Square talked about in a separate article where they noted that friends lists cannot load after firmware Update 8.0, with errors WS443696 and 375050 popping up frequently for those who are having this issue. So Push Square themselves had this issue, stating that here at Push Square, we've been unable to see our pals' profiles all day, despite being able to connect to the PlayStation Network without any issue. It also does seem like this isn't an issue that's afflicted everyone, but I've also seen enough people who did have issues to realize that this is something tangible and that Sony needs to address sooner rather than later. But beyond that, there's reports of people who can't start multiplayer games because their PlayStation Plus accounts needed to play online are no longer recognized after the update. There are people who are mentioning PlayStation Video no longer working after the update, and Friends List is once again brought up. Then there is the messaging surrounding what many people thought meant Sony was starting to monitor all of the voice chats that are occurring in the PlayStation ecosystem. This is a result of Sony's own confusing messaging, which they later clarified, but when the update first rolled out, people started getting the following pop-up message that states, voice chats may be recorded for moderation. This is also something that began to spread on Twitter, with this user, for example, posting a screenshot showing the entire message that reads, voice chats may be recorded for moderation. By joining, you agree to being recorded. So this made it seem as though Sony, with patch 8.0, with update 8.0, they were just going to start listening in on all of the voice chat conversations. Fortunately, this isn't actually how things are going to work. Sony won't be actively monitoring and recording voice chats. What they're implementing is a feature that allows people to record short audio clips of voice chats in case there is harassment going on or foul language that they can record and then send over to the moderation team. And so that's what was clarified in an update statement that was provided on the blog post in question that talked about all of the new features with update 8.0. The update reads, following this update, users are seeing a notification about party safety and that voice chats and parties may be recorded. Voice chat recording for moderation is a feature that will be available on PlayStation 5 when it launches and will enable users to record their voice chats on PS5 and submit them for moderation review. The pop-up you're seeing on PS4 right now is to let you know that when you participate in a chat with a PS5 user post-launch, they may submit those recordings from their PS5 console to Sony Interactive Entertainment. So this is mainly a PS5 feature, but because PS4 players may be interacting with PS5 players who are playing PlayStation 4 titles on their PS5, they're giving PS4 players a warning that PS5 has this recording functionality and that users may record a short audio clip if they feel as though something you said was offensive and they feel the need to report that. Now, I understand that this still isn't the most comfortable of situations. The idea that somebody recording what you're saying without your permission or consent or without your knowledge and sending that over to some company for review. On the other hand, this may act as a deterrent for people who feel the need to be toxic and spout offensive crap online, and it may make them think twice about doing that, given that they could very well be recorded and have that sent over and get potentially suspended or banned. Just whenever you're playing online on the internet, it's always possible that somebody's recording something on their end, whether it's via, I don't know, live streaming or through functionalities inherent to the console. So this isn't really entirely new. It's just kind of being more deeply integrated with the PlayStation 5's interface and system. This may very well make people be more mindful of what they say online. And this is certainly a lot better than the initial implication that many people thought suggested Sony would be actively monitoring and recording all voice chats at all times. That was an idea that people were not down for. But fortunately, there was just some confusion because of Sony's faulty messaging, especially with a pop-up notification that very vaguely just states, voice chats may be recorded for moderation. Sony provided further clarifications via their Ask PlayStation UK Twitter page, which posted, hello, the notification advises you that other users may be recording your voice conversation. We, as Sony, do not record party chats. And then Sony went ahead and took it even a step further by releasing another blog post on October 16th, 2020, providing clarifications and details on the new voice chat functionality coming to PlayStation 5. They talk right here about managing online safety and how they've been preparing to roll out a new feature on PS5 console that enables gamers to report verbal harassment through a new voice chat reporting function. Its sole purpose is to help in reporting of inappropriate behavior, including actions that violate our community code of conduct. Please note that this feature will not actively monitor or listen in on your conversations ever, and it's strictly reserved for reporting online abuse or harassment. PlayStation gamers learned about this new function in an unexpected way following the recent PS4 8.0 system update. We didn't clearly communicate this feature or explain why we were introducing it, and we apologize for that. When the PlayStation 5 console launches in November, PS5 users will be able to chat with PS4 users, which is why we needed to include an advisory with the latest PS4 system update. They go on to say that they should have explained this more clearly, and they kind of explain a little bit how this harassment reporting system works, stating that if a PS5 player needs to file a harassment report, they'll be able to include up to a 40-second long voice chat clip in their report, 20 seconds of the main conversation with the other player, plus an additional 10 seconds before and after the conversation selection. Only the most recent 5 minutes of a voice chat will be available for a player to use for this reporting function. So it's not as if an entire voice chat session is recorded, it's just the last 5 minutes, and within that, if you find something offensive that you feel is worth reporting, then you can go ahead and do that. To close things off, the blog post explains that these reports can be submitted directly through the PS5 console and will be sent to our customer or consumer experience team for moderation, who will then listen to the recording and take action if needed. There won't be an option to opt out of this voice chat recording function because we want all users to feel safe when playing with others online, not just those who choose to enable it. So this is something that they're making universal across the board so that PlayStation users essentially are able to police each other, is kind of what they're hoping for. And we'll see if this ends up panning out. From what I've generally seen online, though, after that clarification, the bigger issue really is the bugs, glitches, and the new party system that feels like a step back from what was there before. And so in response to that, PlayStation said, "Hey folks, just wanted to let you know that we're looking into your feedback on the recent changes to parties on PS4. Thanks for speaking up. We'll keep you posted." So this was published on October 17th, 2020, so a few days after the 8.0 update went out. So it's definitely good to get some kind of acknowledgement that they've actually listened to what people are saying and are hoping to make some changes. The hope is that they'll listen to what people are saying and either revert things back to the way they were or overhaul their new party system enough that it will offer the same functionalities and ease of use as their previous version of the party system. So yeah, that's everything you need to know about PS4's Update 8.0 fiasco and all the negative sentiment surrounding it. Let me know in the comments below what your experience has been like with PS4 Update 8.0 and what you think about some of the new features and changes to the party system, whether you've experienced any bugs. Drop a comment below, and to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out.